Hello there, thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 4. I am Frank Omalapeh, and here are some of the reports we're filing at this time. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo and the President-elect Muhammadu Buhari are among living former Nigerian leaders attending a meeting of the Council of State currently holding inside the presidential villa in Abuja. The council consists of the president as the chairman, vice president, all former president or former heads of state, all former chief justices of Nigeria, president of the Senate, speaker of the House of Representatives, all Senate and state governors, and the Attorney General of the Federation. This is the last time President Goodluck Jonathan will be presiding over the meeting, since he will be handing over to Buhari on May 29. As of the time the meeting started at about 11 a.m., former Nigerian leaders in attendance included Buhari, Shehu Shagari, Yakubu Gowon, Ibrahim Babangida, Ernest Shonekan, and Abdulsalami Abubakar. Obasanjo, however, joined the meeting at about 12:15 p.m. Obasanjo and Buhari had been avoiding most of the council's meeting under Jonathan's leadership. The president-elect, however, made a surprise attendance at the last meeting held on February 5. At that meeting, the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Tahiru Jega, had briefed members on the preparation of the general elections. After the March 28 and April 11 presidential and governorship elections, a drama seems to be evolving daily in the PDP camp, both at the national and state levels. And the latest drama is the purported impeachment of the Lagos PDP chairman Tunji Shele on Monday. A correspondent to Oluwaseyi Adegoke has the rest of the story.
On May 11, 2015, news of the removal of the Lagos PDP chairman filtered in. The secretariat was under lock and key with the presence of security operatives on guard. The impeachment drama was attributed to the fallout of the party's primaries, where a particular group within the Lagos PDP camp had conspired to change the structure of the party.
They tried to divide the party along personality lines. But thank God, I had all the leaders and elders behind me. The ESCO is made up of 49 members, and I control the majority at all times.
Chairman maintains he remains the party chairman until the next ESCO assumes office.
It is unfortunate that the few incarcerate members with the arrowhead, Kamal Olorunje and Wahab Owokoniran, eventually struck. I'm in the office now. I'm in control. I'm in charge.
The party says they do not regret having Jimmy Agbaja as the party's governorship flag bearer, maintaining that he gave the APC a keen competition in the last election. They are, however, assured that disciplinary action will be taken against the party offenders. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And now 56 election petitions have been filed before the Rivers State Elections Petition Tribunal sitting in Apo, Abuja. To Monday, the Rivers State Elections Tribunal has the highest number of petitions among the other state elections tribunals sitting in Abuja. Election tribunals on Rivers, Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe State are sitting in Abuja because of security concerns in the various states. 5 of the petitions filed before the Rivers State tribunals were filed before the governorship election panel, while the 51 other petitions were filed before the Legislative House election panel. Among the 51 other petitions were 3 filed by the All Progressives Congress candidate with respect to the elections into the 3 senatorial seats in the state. The rest of the petitions comprise 14 petitions challenging the election into the state 13 House of Representatives seat and 37 others challenging elections into the 32 available seats in the State House of Assembly. The 5 governorship petitioners were part of the 18 governorship candidates who contested the April 11, 2015 governorship election. And now the Ekiti State Electoral Tribunal has made its inaugural sitting. The panel, led by Justice A.N. Raha, will be taking 6 petitions, with 3 challenging 2 senatorial districts and the other 3 for 3 House of Assembly seats. The PDP and the APC expressed their confidence to emerge victorious at the close of the tribunal. A correspondent, Rashid, has details from Ado Ekiti.
security operatives at the court premises says much about the importance of what is going on. It is the inaugural sitting of the Election Petition Tribunal hearing the contentious issues emanating from the March 28 and April 11 National Assembly and State House of Assembly elections respectively. Being the inaugural sitting, the overseers of the process gave the modus operandi of tribunal in its maiden speech from the panel's chairman to the State Attorney General.
We are determined to carry out our judiciary responsibilities at this tribunal without fear of favor, affection, or ill will. We shall, by the grace of God, be dispassionate, impartial, conscientious, and courageous in the performance of judicial duties at this tribunal.
We want to assure you that Ekiti State is peaceful enough and guarantees your safety here.
Answers to the petitioners and respondents expressed optimism over the sitting, while political parties said they are prepared for the cases.
Whether the person that was returned was not right to be returned, or whether the person that was returned was not qualified at the time he conducted the election. And those are the two basic reasons why the 5 petitions I am participating in were filed.
Naturally, when a matter is served, the law is very clear. We have the number of days during which we are to respond, and we are working in line with that.
We are prepared, and we believe that the irregularities that we challenged in the election of in the senatorial election in Ekiti Central, as we challenged, will be adequately addressed.
The APC candidate for Ekiti Central, Gbenga Olofin, is challenging the victory of Fatimat Rajarasaki of the PDP, while Tony Adeniyi challenges the victory of PDP's Abiodun Olujimi at Ekiti South Senatorial District. The tribunal has 180 days to conclude its sitting. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
And now the head of the transition committee for the incoming government has denied suggestions of a rift with the government team led by Vice President Amadi Sambo. Ahmed Joda told State House correspondent after a meeting at the presidential villa that the two sides have been working as a team. He insisted that there was no time his committee complained about non-cooperation from the government side.
It was very cordial. There is certainly no issue. We are flowing, and we have a clearer understanding of the workings of the two committees.
Our committee has never said to anybody that there is no cooperation. We have never said that. And we are waiting for the reports for when they come.
Legal practitioners have advised the National Assembly to respect the law to avert crisis and the purported constitution amendment. This is on the backdrop of the National Assembly reported vow to override the President and the Supreme Court. Our correspondent Oluwaseyi Adegoke has the rest of the story. Well, we'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. Away from there now, Chad is to intensify efforts and work closely with Nigeria to end the Boko Haram insurgency when President-elect Muhammadu Buhari assumes office. Chadian President Idris Deby made this pledge when he paid a courtesy call on the incoming president in Abuja. Deby, who spoke through an interpreter, maintained that with a much stronger bilateral relationship between the two countries, Boko Haram will be wiped out.
Comme vous savez, la relation entre le Tchad et le Nigeria, ce sont deux pays frères.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President is saying that this visit today in Abuja, Nigeria, aims at coming to congratulate the Nigerian people and leaders of achieving one of the greatest elections ever seen in Africa. And as you said, Mr. President is emphasizing the fact that Nigeria and Chad are two countries with one people. We have many things in common, many destiny. We have a long tradition, a long history together. And in this sense, the visit here to meeting with President-elect.
Our main preoccupation in this region is the question of Boko Haram. And we have known how Chad, Nigeria, and Cameroon have been helping Nigeria to secure the border. and we know what effect it has on commerce and industries. Some of the bridges were blown, some of the infrastructure again is destroyed. So these are the priorities we have discussed, and God willing, when the government gets in place, we will again sit and make sure we have a comprehensive review of the situation in that area and how it affects our people.
Meanwhile, the Chadian President Idris Deby had earlier said he did not know the whereabouts of the Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shekau. He also argued that Chadian and Nigerian troops will have fared better in the war against insurgency with better cooperation. President Deby spoke to journalists at the presidential villa after a closed-door meeting with President Goodluck Jonathan.
Premier point concernant Abubakar Shekau, il faut le situer dans le cadre de l'ensemble des opérations que nous avions menées.
Mr. President said he has no information concerning mercenaries from South Africa. On the issue of Saqqara, he said it's regrettable that the two armies, that the Nigerian army and the Chadian army, were working separately on the field. They were not undertaking joint operations. That if they have been able to operate joint operations, probably they will have achieved more results. And he cannot tell you today that he knows where Saqqara is hiding. And even if he knows, he won't tell you that he knows that.
The Nigerian military says it has no hand in the attacks on some villages in Wase local government area of Plateau State in north-central of Nigeria. Controversy surrounding the incident that claim yet to be identified number of casualties is attracting the attention of the Plateau State House of Assembly and concerned citizens in the state. While addressing protesters at the State House of Assembly premises, the Speaker Titus Ayuba Alam's promised that the incident will be thoroughly investigated for an onward presentation to the National Assembly for deliberations. Accusations and counter-accusations have continued as the Tarok people are alleging that the attacks were plans to wipe out their people. Amidst all of these accusations, the Special Task Force, through its spokesman KDG Weha, explained that the military had no hand in the attacks and is only involved in maintaining law and order according to the mandate. Meanwhile, the people of Kadarko and other affected villages have continued to count their losses. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered that prosecution witnesses later to testify in the trial of Aminu Oguche, the alleged mastermind of the Nyanya bus terminal bombings, to be shielded from public view. It also says the trial proper is to begin on May 12th. The order of court followed an application by the prosecution counsel Mohammed Dere that the witnesses be shielded with tinted screen to protect their identity. Defense counsel Ahmed Raji and 5 other counsels for their part opposed the motion and urged the court to dismiss the application. The trial judge Justice Ahmed Mohammed, in a short ruling, granted the prosecution's request. He, however, ordered that defense counsel and the accused persons should be allowed to cite the prosecution witnesses.
There can be a kind of a shield so that only lawyers can see the prosecution witnesses. We felt the earlier order granted is enough, but His Lordship felt otherwise, which is okay by us. And but all we are open for is for them to come and start the prosecution, because that is tomorrow, because the matter is adjourned to tomorrow. But it looks like the prosecution is not ready to kickstart this case for reasons best known to them.
This is CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back with more stories after this timeout. Stay with us.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united in similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News.
You're watching CoreTV News at 4 live from our Lagos studios. For more information on our news and other programs, like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also follow at CoreTV News Engine. For live streaming, log on to youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, then news. The National Assembly is not impressed with the performance of state assemblies in the last 60 years of Nigeria's democracy. It also advised state legislators to refrain from abusing the impeachment powers vested upon them by the 1999 Constitution. Senate President David Mark said this at the opening of a week-long induction program for newly elected state lawmakers in Abuja. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Rules and Business, Itai Nang, also expressed a similar sentiment as guest speaker.
So House of Assembly, go. And sometimes they line out magistrates and judges and call them and hand over key of Camry or Kia to judges. It's wrong. And you are responsible. Stand up and protect the judiciary. Therefore, if you don't protect, you will always say that they are standing for them. I apologize, but this is wrong. It is wrong. It shouldn't be allowed to happen. And we have done it in the national, in the federal. You cannot, we don't interfere how the judiciary does their money. When it goes to the Chief Registrar and the Chief Justice of the Federation. It is administered through the National Judicial Council. Otherwise, you'll see the judiciary can be independent at that stage. And the money of the judiciary in many states are used in doing other things, so that judiciary can't even pay salary with their own money. So you have to stand up, otherwise you'll still say that they're saving the executive.
Former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Galin Marnaba, says Nigerians should be more concerned about the competence of the next leadership of the National Assembly than their zones of origin. He said this on the sidelines of the opening of the one-week induction course for newly elected member of all 36 state houses of assembly. Naba is, however, convinced that the All Progressives Congress would put forward credible men for the positions of Senate President and Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Well, yeah, you will agree with me that the APC has just taken over the federal government. Before this time, the APC has never run the federal government. Therefore, it is going to be foolhardy for us to expect that these things are going to be easy. And more so that with the configuration of the party and the zonal arrangements and so on and so forth, these are things that must definitely be teething for the party. But I think it's worth it that these things are considered carefully so that mistakes are not committed. Nigerians must not be in a hurry to know where their next speaker or Senate president is coming from. What is important is for us to have individuals who would occupy these positions that are well qualified and that will also provide a sense of balance to the Federation.
The governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Enugu State, Oke Ezia, has denied allegations that he'll embezzled about 400 million naira meant for the campaign of President-elect Muhammadu Buhari in the state. The alleged embezzlement has been cited as one of the reasons behind the party's fallout in the 2015 general elections in Enugu State. The allegation has also led to a major crisis in the Enugu State chapter of the APC. By refuting the allegations, Ezia has forwarded a financial report which detailed how funds made available to him for the campaigns were disbursed to the national chairman of the party, Odigi Oyegun. Ezia made copies of the report available to journalists in his campaign office in Enugu. According to him, only a total sum of 133 million naira from the APC was handed by his campaign organization before, during and after the polls. The governorship candidate, who admitted that political parties do not disclose the money they spend on campaigns to the public, said he decided on the action because of the allegations being leveled against him. As Enugu Federal High Court has ordered the police to reopen the Enugu State House of Assembly complex, which has been under lock since some lawmakers moved to impeach Governor Sullivan Jime. The house was thrown into crisis after the development as about 7 lawmakers who were opposed to the planned impeachment suspended the Speaker, Ujene Odo, and elected Chinedu Nwaba in his place. But Odo is insisting that he is still in charge of the legislative body, even though the leadership of the People's Democratic Party and the state had already congratulated Nwaba on his emergence as a speaker. Nwaba was also received by Chime at the government house, a development which prompted Odo to accuse governor of prompting illegality. Odo had headed for the court to challenge the development, including the closure of the state assembly by the police. In an interim order made in the suit, the court presided over by Justice Dorcas Gishi ordered the police to reopen the assembly. The team of policemen deployed at the gate were equally ordered to leave. Chukwuma Azikwe, the first son of pioneer president of Nigeria, Dr. Nnamdi Azikwe, is found dead. A family source who pleaded not to be named said he passed on to a Bromeo hospital on Sunday at the age of 75. It was gathered that he had been battling protracted respiratory-related ailment for some years now. Chukwuma, until his death, was the Owele of Onitsha, a traditional position he inherited from his father in 1996. Chukwuma had once contested unsuccessfully the governorship seat of the old Anambra state at the end of his diplomatic career. We'll bring you detail in a moment. And now the allied health professionals and the management of the Federal Medical Center, where it continues, staff of the FMC branch have once again taken to the street to protest against queries issued to some of their members. The demand of the employers, which amongst others is centered on the purported privatization of some medical services by the management of the health facility, sparked reactions resulting into protest.
Your representatives are marching to the board right away. So as we discuss ab initio, we are moving. So people can lead us as we go. So let's move immediately. Pharaoh, let my people go. Allow them go to the promised land. Pharaoh, let my people go.
And now to Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has warned landowners in the state against selling lands acquired by government for developmental purposes. Fashola gave this warning while distributing certificates of occupancy to representatives of 40 villages and families whose applications for land acquisition was approved by the state government. Fashola also enjoined them to comply with approved government plans in process of selling or developing the excised lands.
Which we are trying to correct by this process now is that some people, after collecting the excision, come back and say it's not enough. Or after taking the excision, now jump onto government land. That must stop. So that is the reason why we are doing this in the open.
Meanwhile, the Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola has emphasized the role of adequate database for the citizenry in the effort of government at providing dividends of democracy in the country. Fashola made the assertion after collecting his national identity card from the Director General of the National Identity Management Commission, Chris Onyemena, at the State House in Ikeja. Fashola insists the initiative will assist the government in proper planning. For his part, Chris Onyemena explains that aside serving as a national identity card. The card could also be used for
If this
financial
had been
transactions.
done successfully, it will have eliminated or substantially reduced the pressures that we all put ourselves through in trying to get PVC to vote. Because this will have been your identity, and so many parameters of our features, age, and all of that would have been in it, and date of birth, so we will know who is eligible to vote and who is not eligible to vote.
That's why it's a multi-purpose card, aside from the fact that it's a KYC card, or know who you are dealing with. It also provides a payment platform, and therefore potentially enables the citizenry to deal in the formal financial system, because there's a prepaid card.
Now, President Goodluck Jonathan's aides on Monday walked out to journalists from the presidential villa in Abuja in what could be a new style of intimidating newsmen. The first victim is Ubale Musa, the State House correspondent of German radio Juste Welle. Musa's accreditation tag was withdrawn by security operatives attached to the presidential villa Abuja for asking visiting Chadian President Idris Deby a question authorities found to be embarrassing. Musa had asked the visiting president to explain the relationship between the multinational task force fighting in Lake Chad and the South African mercenaries fighting with them. Deby simply responded that he had no information concerning mercenaries from South Africa shortly after the visiting president left. Musa was invited by security operatives and his tag was withdrawn. Security operatives thereafter drove him in a vehicle out of the forecourt of the president's office through the service chief's gate, where he told the operatives that some of his work tools were still inside the press gallery where journalists operate from. The operatives led him to the hall to retrieve his belongings and led him out of the villa again. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Robert Abati, was said to have assured a delegation of State House correspondents who met him on the matter that the issue would be resolved appropriately. You're still watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take another break and I'll be back with sport and other stories outside Nigeria. Do stay with us.
Women share the most amazing thoughts on national issues, and they do it passionately.
For most men that are educated, that are exposed, will see nothing to it.
The population and the level of poverty made me cry. No infrastructural development whatsoever. And you tell me Lagos is working?
That was an accident, and it was a one-off thing. Other than that, there has never been any situation in Nigeria where a Nigerian attacked anybody just because of where they came from.
Sharing the adorable word of women in politics every week, only on CoreTV News.
And in sports now, the duo have joined Edwin Okon's team for preparations for the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada as the team depart for Toronto next Tuesday. The Super Falcons comes well on Tuesday with the arrival of Liverpool ladies forward Aziza Tushuala and United States-based Courtney Dike for the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup built for Canada. Coach Edwin Okon's ladies continue preparations for the Quadronia female football showpiece after their Mali counterpart pulled out of the Olympics qualifier on Friday. Oshoala will play all minutes as the rest lost 1-0 to Notts County in the English Women Premier League on Sunday, arrived on Monday night, while Kansas State University's DK was stayed for the Falconets at the Under-20 Women's World Cup. Arrived camp on Tuesday morning and will be hoping to break into the star-studded Super Falcons team. Both players are expected to take part in the team's training on Tuesday evening. In another development, the reigning African Queens will depart for Toronto next Tuesday to fine-tune strategies for World Cup, the Nigerian Football Federation tweeted on their handle. Nigeria's surviving team of the continent, Warri Wolves, have promised to deliver when they face host AC Leopards in Saturday's CAF Confederation Cup playoff bid for the state, Denis Sasso Nguesso Dolishe. Media officer Museso Etu confirmed to Go that they will be departing for the face their host, who were bounced out of the CAF Champions League by Smohar of Egypt, while assuring that Wolves have all it takes to secure a win in Congo. AC Leopards came to Kano Pillars, defeated them 4-1, while the reverse leg ended 3-0 and qualified on a away goal roll against Heartland. They lost 3-2 in Owerri and qualified 2 on away goal roll after winning at home 2-1, and currently they are 4th in the Congolese League. Paul Aigwogun's men are yet to lose a game since the beginning of the competition. Bayern Munich will battle to the end as they bid to overhaul a 3-0 first leg deficit in Tuesday's Champions League semi-final with Barcelona. The German champions lost the first leg of the quarter-final 3-1 in Porto, but won the home leg 6-1. And Bayern boss Pep Guardiola, who used to manage Barca, said the only way they can make the final by playing better than Barcelona and doing what he did in the second half of the first leg. As well as missing key men Ribery and Robin, Bayern defender Holger Bastova and left-back David Alaba are also currently sidelined. Including a penalty shootout, Bayern have lost 4 games in a row, while Barcelona have won the last 8, keeping 70 consecutive clean sheets. Guardiola rested 4 first-choice players, and on Saturday against Augsburg, keeper Manuel Neuer, midfielders Xabi Alonso, and defender Mehdi Benatia and Rafinha. However, the loss was 1-0, and Neuer played most of the game following Pepe Reina's early red card. Outside Nigeria now, a major earthquake has struck eastern Nepal near Mount Everest. 2 weeks after more than 8,000 died in a devastating quake. The latest earthquake hit near the town of Nemanche Baza, close to Mount Everest. At least 4 people have been killed and an unknown number injured, according to aid agency. The epicenter of the latest earthquake was 83 kilometers east of Kathmandu, in a rural area close to the Chinese border, felt in northern India and Bangladesh. And the Nepalese capital in the Kathmandu, which was badly damaged last month, people rushed out of buildings as the quake struck at 12:35 local time. At least 4 people were killed in the town of Shautara, east of the capital Kathmandu, where a number of buildings are reported to have collapsed. Well, of course, that's a wrap on CoreTV News at 4. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalapeh. I'll see you again.